With the extensive product offerings of Rolex and Omega, there exist two watches that often receive similar levels of attention, offering comparable tool functionality and distinctive presentations: the Rolex Milgauss and the Omega Railmaster. Today, we'll put them in a direct comparison. Let's delve into it. The featured models are contemporary iterations of the Milgauss and Railmaster lines. Rolex's Milgauss 11-6400 GV, featuring a vivid blue-green sunburst dial known as Z Blue, made its debut in 2014. On the other hand, the Omega Railmaster, officially designated as the Seamaster Railmaster, joined the Seamaster collection in 2017, coinciding with the introduction of the Railmaster Limited Edition, a tribute to the 60th anniversary of the line. Since their inception, these two timepieces have essentially been competitors. The necessity for watches capable of withstanding magnetic fields emerged in the mid-20th century, a period predating the widespread production of digital watches. In 1954, Rolex unveiled the Rolex Milgauss 6543, the inaugural Milgauss reference characterized by a very limited production, only a few hundred units, and a mere 2-year production span. It was subsequently succeeded by the reference 6541 in 1956. Crafted for scientists and engineers, these watches established a benchmark for anti-magnetic features in contemporary timekeeping. Simultaneously, Omega was in the process of developing its own professional series of watches, which encompassed iconic models like the Omega Speedmaster, the Seamaster, and the Railmaster. The Railmaster shared a similar purpose with the Milgauss, but with a specific focus on professionals such as railway employees, scientists, electricians, and others working in or around potent electrical fields. The Railmaster experienced several phases of production, being discontinued in 1963, reintroduced in 2003, discontinued once more in 2012, and ultimately reissued with the present model in 2017. Now, let's examine the specifications of these watches. The Rolex Milgauss boasts a 40mm case, a thickness of 13.5mm, a lug-to-lug width of 48mm with a 20mm lug width, a water resistance of 100 meters, and is equipped with an automatic Rolex 3131 movement. Featuring a sapphire crystal with a distinctive green hue, which will be explored in more detail later, this timepiece is priced at $8,200. Conversely, the Omega Railmaster features a 40mm case, a thickness of 12mm, a lug-to-lug width of 46.8mm with a 20mm lug width, a water resistance of 150 meters, and is driven by a coaxial 8806 movement. Like the Milgauss, it also incorporates a sapphire crystal, and its retail price stands at $5,000. Examining the dial designs of these watches, we encounter two distinct styles that, at their essence, share a common purpose. Starting with the Rolex, the Z Blue dial introduced in 2014 immediately captures attention. Enhanced by the green sapphire crystal, it produces a green-hued halo around the outermost part of the dial when viewed at specific angles. The applied hour markers rise above orange numeral markings on the minute track. The dial incorporates a 2-line notation for the movement's chronometer certification, and at 12 o'clock, the crown with 3-line lettering boldly spells out Milgauss in capital letters. The second hand takes the form of a renowned orange lightning bolt, a distinctive feature introduced with the reference 6541. Turning our focus to the Omega Railmaster, we encounter a markedly different style. The textured black finish dial, which varies in appearance depending on the lighting, often leans towards a charcoal or gray tone rather than a true black. The textured finish adds intricacy to the printed dial, featuring numerals at the 12, 3, 6, and 9 positions. Faux patina is applied to create triangular lume plots at the hour markings and within the hands. In terms of luminescence, the Omega Railmaster may have a slight advantage in terms of brightness in a dark room, though it might not necessarily enhance readability. The faux patina on the markings complements the Railmaster inscription at 6 o'clock, with crosshairs at the center of the dial and a railway-style minute track encircling the periphery. Turning our attention to the cases and bracelets, the Rolex presents an oyster-style case and bracelet, complete with a screw-down crown. In contrast, the Omega features a smaller, all-brushed case and bracelet with a screw-down crown and broader rivets than those found on the Milgauss. Despite both watches sharing the same 40mm case size, the Rolex exudes a more substantial presence on the wrist, attributed to its elevated lug-to-lug height of 48mm and the superior oyster bracelet. While the dial finish and applied indices on the Rolex also exhibit superiority, I believe the greatest distinction in price is most palpable in the bracelet. The bracelet on the Omega, particularly at the clasp, falls slightly short when compared to that of the Rolex. Additionally, the Rolex boasts an oyster clasp, providing a 5mm comfort extension when necessary. Renowned as one of the finest bracelets in horology, the oyster bracelet poses a formidable challenge for Omega to contend with. Flipping the watches over, the Rolex Milgauss displays a standard case back, adhering to the expected Rolex design. On the Omega, a finely finished solid case back is present. However, I can't help but think that an open case back would have been a more fitting choice, considering the caliber of the movement. This brings us to the movements, where the Omega houses an Omega coaxial 8806, boasting a 55-hour power reserve and a coaxial escapement, a creation by the esteemed George Daniels. This movement holds master chronometer certification, allowing it to withstand 15,000 gauss of magnetism, an accomplishment surpassing the Rolex Milgauss, certified for 1,000 gauss. The Rolex movement is a Rolex 3131, a COSC certified mechanism with a daily deviation of plus or minus 2 seconds, essentially mirroring the 4-second daily deviation of the Omega. With a 48-hour power reserve, the Rolex movement features a paramagnetic blue parachrom hairspring. Taking all factors into account, the Omega emerges as a strong contender, especially considering its significantly lower price, coming in at just 60% of the cost of the Rolex, and even more attractively priced in the secondary market. This financial aspect stands out as the primary determinant. When it comes to the finishing and build quality of cases and bracelets, the Milgauss clearly takes the lead in this category, leaving no room for doubt. However, in terms of movement performance, water resistance, remarkable resistance to magnetism, and the added benefit of wearing versatility due to its more understated color palette, the Omega claims victory in this domain. It's worth noting that the Rolex holds its value well on the secondary market and is likely to demand a higher resale value. Nevertheless, choosing the Omega, especially if purchased secondhand, doesn't mean compromising on investment value, making it a compelling alternative. Considering everything, if I had to decide based on value for money, I'd lean towards the Omega watch due to its versatility, superior movement, and impressive specifications regarding magnetism resistance. While the practical implications of these features in daily use might be uncertain, they still add to its overall appeal. Moreover, the optimal water resistance enhances its package, especially considering its significantly lower price tag. However, the Rolex Milgauss holds its own unique allure. For me, it boils down to personal preference, but I believe either choice would be a solid one. Both watches seem to have received a somewhat overlooked status within their respective brands, yet opting for either assures you of owning something distinct that might not be the top choice for many, which adds to their appeal and charm. Considering both watches, I'd like to hear your thoughts. Drop your comments below. I've always enjoyed the engaging discussions on Instagram and the Facebook group, and I'm anticipating more here. If you appreciate these side-by-side comparisons and want to see more, show your support by giving the video a thumbs up, subscribing, and hitting the bell icon. Thank you for tuning in, take care, and I look forward to connecting with you again soon.